Hi, hey, I just wanted to do something I thought would be kind of fun tonight since tomorrow's the summer solstice. And so it's actually nighttime. I'm here in California up by the San Francisco Bay Area, about 50 miles east of San Francisco. It's about 9:40, 9:45. It's June 20th. And I want to just use an app and show how you can take this app and you can actually look at the night sky with this particular app, and you can actually specifically see the gospel in the stars. There's more to everything that I'm going to show you, but the stuff I'm going to show you is really basic. It's all been well documented and researched over time. Everything I say about the imagery and what's actually presented up there is it's you can read about it. It's there. This information has been around for thousands of years. You'll see some, in addition to the imagery that I point out, you'll see some other imagery out there that is put in this particular program for nautical reasons, but the imagery that we point out is as old as about 2,500 years old and is well known around many of the ancient cultures. It's a very, very clear description of a very primitive form of the gospel. So I'm going to switch this over and go to the app itself, if I can get there. This app right here called Skyview. It's going to turn on, and I'm going to move over this way. You can see I'm actually in a park, and you can do this in the city. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're at, you can actually do this in a rural setting. However you want to do it, it's all easy to do. So I'm going to start off with a constellation here. It's actually a scorpion. And in the center of the scorpion, the big bright star in the center of the scorpion is actually referred to as Antares. It means against the ram, because Aries is his counterpart, which is 12 hours away on the other side of the constellation group. So to the left and at the horizon of Antares is a dual-natured warrior, part horse, part man, and he has an arrow that is pointed literally right at the heart of the scorpion. Okay, so this dual-natured warrior has an arrow pointed right at the heart of the scorpion. You can see Jupiter right there. It's in the background. Down below, you're going to see what we know here. This is actually an altar, and astronomically, this particular altar is literally located astronomically right below this dual-natured warrior who has his arrow pointed at the heart of the scorpion, or Scorpio. Okay, so we're going to go back up to our scorpion, and we're going to go. By the way, the scorpion in the ancient world, specifically in Babylon, was the symbol of death. In fact, there actually are scorpions in that part of the world whose single sting can kill you real easy, and they're known for striking people's heels. We're going to get back to that here in just a second. Let's go over this way. Here we have another character, and I just recently discovered information about this character that made it very helpful. Come to find out, this is actually a wolf. His name is Lupus, actually, but this wolf is associated with cunning, trickery, and deceit. In fact, there's a new site that's been discovered. It's called Göbekli Tepe. It's actually in Turkey, and it's the oldest astronomical site in the world. And they discovered that the imagery of the wolf, as seen in astronomy, was literally a depiction of one that was crafty, cunning, and deceitful. So here we have the image of death and the image of cunning deceit. And over here, we're going to go over here to the west further, and we're going to see another dual-natured warrior who's actually spearing or throwing a spear at this wolf. And what's interesting about this dual-natured warrior is, if I can pull it up here, he's actually standing on a cross. All right? So let's just kind of pan over here again. Okay? Dual-natured warrior placed on top of an altar who is got an arrow pointed to the heart of the scorpion, the symbol of death in the ancient world. And then we have a symbol of cunning and deceit in the ancient world, that's actually a car in the background you see. But this wolf is a depiction of cunning and deceit in the ancient world, and he's being killed by a dual-natured warrior who's actually standing on a cross. Okay, so now we're going to go back up and across this way, and we're going to come up here, and we're going to move up, and we're going to see a pair of balances, and these two balances are actually the scorpion's actually chained to these balances, and one balance in the Babylonian language, one side is called price paid, and the other side is called price deficient. Come up this way, okay, and we have a depiction of a man who is wrestling a gigantic serpent. Now, we can't really see this, but his basically what would be his left foot or our right foot on his right, that particular foot is actually placed square on the head of the scorpion. It's crushing the head of the scorpion. And then what would be on his left, or our left side, his left foot, the other foot to the east is actually on just above the tail of the scorpion, and the scorpion's tail is reaching up and stinging him on the heel. Okay, this individual is known as literally Ophiuchius, which is known as the restrainer, and he's restraining this gigantic serpent. If we follow his gaze, we can see where he's looking. He's looking up at this guy right here, whose name is, depending on who you talk to, his name is either Arcturus or Bootes. Arcturus is actually the primary star in the constellation. It used to be known by that name, but they've given it a second name, which is Bootes. But Arcturus literally means the guardian shepherd or the chief shepherd. And he's guarding something against the reach of this serpent here, is what he's doing. So what's he actually guarding? All right, well, we're going to go back to that in just a second. And I'm going to come on down this way, and we're going to run into a woman. And this woman, she has, in one hand, she has a grain of seeds, and in the other hand, she has a branch, and she's known as a virgin, and she's actually looking at something. She's looking up this way, and she's looking at this constellation here, which is a misrepresentation. In this representation, it looks like hair. But this constellation was known as Shiznu in the ancient world, and it's a depiction of a woman sitting on a throne holding a child. And that child, Shiznu, means the desired son or the desired of the women. That's exactly what that means. And the woman sitting on the throne is actually this woman here, who is a virgin who has brought forth a son, and this son is being guarded by the guardian who is guarding him against this serpent. If we can find the serpent here again, against the serpent who is reaching or looking towards that particular child and the guardian. I'm going to come back down, and we're going to go this way over here, and we're going to go past the woman. As we go past the woman, you're going to see a light in the background. That's actually a street light. We're running into a constellation right here of a lion. Now, what's interesting about this lion is the backside of the lion has a sub-constellation inside of it, and that sub-constellation is a 3-star constellation, and the Egyptians and the ancient Babylonians and the Hebrews referred to it as Mesu, from which we get the word Messiah. This lion is actually leaping, and he's preparing to bounce upon, see if I can actually pull this up here, if I could find it. He's preparing to bounce upon the head of, where'd it go? Of a gigantic serpent. And this serpent, at this point in time, is right along the horizon. That's a different constellation right there. The serpent is right along the horizon. Okay? Gigantic serpent. Think about what we got here, folks. Okay, as we pan back to the east, think about what we've got. A dual-natured warrior shooting his arrow, standing over an altar, okay, shooting his arrow at the heart of the scorpion, the ancient symbol of death. This scorpion's tail is reaching up and stinging the heel of this particular person right here, whose other foot is crushing the scorpion's head. We have the symbol of deceit right here, who is also being killed by a dual-natured warrior who is actually resting upon a cross. The scorpion is bound to the balance with two measures in it, referred to one side being price paid and the other one being price deficient. The serpent is casting his gaze upwards towards the chief or the guardian shepherd, who is guarding what is actually, that's one of his dogs. Guarding, where are we here? Where'd he go? Oh, there it is right there. Guarding the constellation that is supposed to depict a woman sitting on her throne with her child. That woman is seen better over here, as she has one side, she has a star right there, which is named Spica, which means seat of the woman, okay? And then over here, she's got another star over here called Samak, which means the branch, and she's casting her gaze towards her desire, which is that child. And then as we move forward across this way, we have the lion, who has a sub-constellation in him known as as Mesu, and he is actually leaping on the head of a gigantic serpent that spans 1/4 of the horizon. Okay? Folks, you can do this. You can take this video and you can actually do it yourself. You just get the constellation or get the app. It's about $3. It's called Star Watch or Sky Watch. And it's really easy to do. And you can do this anywhere out there. You can do this anywhere out there. I just happen to be doing it at a park in the city, showing that you don't have to be out in the country to do this. And you can take this and show this to your friends and your neighbors, and you can actually literally show them the gospel and the stars. This isn't the only presentation of this type. Okay, this is just one of about 5 or 6 that are associated with the main constellations of what we refer to as the zodiac, or the Babylonians referred to as the Mazareth. So, all right, thanks for your time.